be surprised what people will do when they find themselves facing 30 years.
30 years?
Next Wednesday.
I love Zach, but I'm not with this might be his baby stuff.
Did Sabrina give me up? Hell no. Well, then how did she get bail and I didn't?
While it's cold outside.
Hey, I want to talk to you.
I can buy you some drinks.
Sistas is bringing the heat.
You're so sexy. Are you single?
He is not gonna know what hit him.
If I hit him, he will remain alive.
Tyler Perry's Sistas, all new next Wednesday at 9.
All right, Sisters fans, hope everybody's doing well. This is the trailer breakdown for Season 5, Episode 13, Feeling the Heat. Maurice reaches out to Calvin and is reassured that all will be well. Zach plans for a talk with Karen and Fatima when Andy shows up. Okay. So that's the synopsis itself, and let's get into the trailer. Now, you have John Williams. It looks like the episode is going to pick up where we left off, and he's talking with Maurice. It's like, you'll be surprised what people will do when they're facing 30 years. And Maurice goes, 30 years? Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't John already tell Maurice that he could be looking at 30 years? And he's like, he's not going to sign the papers, but now all of a sudden, 30 years? Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, because I do believe he said the same thing to Sabrina, but I feel like it's just one of those things where we'll have a character hear something and react to it one way, but then the next episode or a couple episodes later, they get, you know, fed the same information, and now all of a sudden they're shocked. So I don't know. Maybe it's because of the fact Sabrina's out. We'll see. But we do know that Maurice finally gets a phone call. I mean, I don't know why it took so long for him to get a phone call, but he does get one, and he calls Calvin. And he asks the question, did Sabrina give me up? Hell no. Yeah, that's how Calvin said it. Hell no. And Maurice goes, well, how'd she get bail? And I didn't. So later on, we see Calvin over at Sabrina's apartment. And Calvin says, hey, well, Maurice called and said that they, in terms of like, you know, the legal people over there, they want Maurice to give you up, Sabrina, so he can walk. And based on that phone call that Maurice gave him earlier in the episode and what Calvin is telling Sabrina now, I don't think Maurice signs the deal that John was pushing in front of him. But in any case, Sabrina's like, I'll go talk to Andy tonight. And Calvin's like, yeah, I think you ought to hurry up and do that. So from there, in a non-speaking role, we do see Bio comes by the apartment. Now, whether or not he comes by when Calvin is there, I don't know. But we do know he does come by. And for those giving him a hard time about why didn't he show up, I'm pretty sure I did a video about it. Why didn't he show up? Why didn't he do anything? He didn't know, more than likely. We don't know if there was any news coverage of local bank manager and employee get arrested for conspiring to, you know, they're the masterminds behind the attempted robbery not too long ago. In terms of what the general public knows about the arrest, we don't know. We don't. So I don't know if Bio even knew about it. So he's probably coming by in order to see what's going on, you know, because he hasn't heard from Sabrina for a couple of days. Now, Preston, I'm going to assume this scene happens first. Q is at the airport with Danny asking, can I buy you some drinks? And I'm guessing she declines, but then again, with Danny, you just never know. But we do know that later on in her apartment, Preston's like, she said you hit someone with your car? It's not a big deal. Danny, you ran someone over. That's a big deal. Now, in terms of she, as in the person that told Preston, given how friendly he is with the landlord, what is she, like an older white woman or something? I'm guessing she told Preston what happened. But then again, that leads to a lot of questions. Number one, how did she know? Number two, if she knew, were there any police called? Obviously not. And then the fact that Danny, it's not a big deal. This further reiterates my point of how shitty this storyline involving Jonah was handled. It's not a big deal. We're just going to brush over it. But I will wait for the full episode before I, you know, cast judgment. Maybe I'll do another video talking about it briefly before next week, but I'm just not liking how this is handled. Preston, get out of there. Just get out of there before you're next. All right. So Tamara is in Hayden's office, and you are so sexy. Are you single? And Hayden's just, dumbfounded by this. Do you want to get a drink with me? Where at? My house? What the fuck? Okay, she's moving fast. So Fatima's in Andy's office. This is my plan. Your what? She's going to take Hayden for everything he's got. And then we also have a conversation shifting gears to, I love Zach, but I'm not with this might be his baby stuff. I agree. It's not that Fatima is against being with Zach. It's the fact that it's not the baby mama drama that's preventing her from, wanting to be with Zach. It's the fact that there's no time for this might be, might not be. Like, we need to know. At least with the, look, say what you want about whether or not the DNA tests were tampered with. At least there are results that show Zach is the father of Heather's son. With Karen, there's a lot of he said, she, or basically there's a lot of she said, and there's no facts. I mean, yeah, the doctor gave a date, but in terms of us as an audience and the women, like Danny and Andy, they don't know. It's only Karen who knows. So, moving on, we actually have Zach over at his house with Fatima, or Zach and Fatima's house. Let me say that before somebody gets mad in the comments about that. But basically, there's a moment where Karen's at the salon and she gets a phone call from Zach, and we have Fatima sitting on the couch with him, and he's like, hey, I want to talk to you. And I'm like, holy crap. So kind of in a reverse of earlier in the season, or the first half of the season, where the big story arc was, all right, we're going to Karen's apartment to talk. Now it's like we're going to Zach's house to talk. That's interesting. But we have a couple of scenes of dialogue, okay? Zach, he goes, all right, I really want to marry you. And Fatima goes, we need to talk to Karen first. And Zach goes, did you really just say that to me? And Fatima goes, yes, I did. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I can see both sides of this. The Fatima in terms of, okay, number one, we need to confirm that this baby is yours. Number two, we need to be careful because of the fact that we don't want another Heather situation where you have Heather, who's obviously trying to extort money from Zach via child support just because he got money. And then you have Karen, who might be trying to get Zach for massive child support out of bitterness because he's getting married to Fatima. But at the same time, Zach, it's just one of those things where I love you. I want to marry you at some point. Why the hell should I consult with my ex before I do that? Because keep in mind, going back to the video I did about the day Karen died and how to fix Karen, I said a pivotal moment that would have really redefined Karen's character would have been kind of stretching out the story arc of whether or not she would accept Aaron's proposal. Not even proposal. It's like, hey, let's go get married right now. In season 3, episode 11, leading into episode 12. It's like, do you think she would have just, after her and Zach had a clean split at the salon, do you think she would have said, hey, Aaron, I need to talk to Zach first before I commit? What the hell? You know how ridiculous that is? But like I said, it does seem ridiculous what Fatima's saying, but when you really think about it, it does make some sort of sense in terms of, I can see Zach now, screw how she feels about it, but from Fatima's perspective, like she said, we get married, our debts become our debts. And I don't want a situation where we both get hit hard financially because of your baby mama. So, yeah, there's that. But it just seems asinine to have to consult with her about it, in the same way that it seems ridiculous how Karen plans to have like a a get together with the girls before she tells Zach about the baby. And it's like, no, you wasted no time at all claiming he was the father, dismissing the idea of Aaron. But now that you allegedly have confirmation from the doctor, now you want to drag your feet on telling him? That's some bullshit. All right. Also, I think I missed the part, the last thing to talk about in the trailer itself. While Fatima was still in her Andy's office, she goes, he's not going to know what hit him in regards to Tamara. And then Andy, I ain't going to lie, this was pretty funny. By hit him, he will remain alive. And then that look on Fatima's face, I ain't going to lie, that was funny because with Andy, what she knows about Fatima so far, yeah, that is a legitimate question to ask. So overall, next week, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm not like dreading it, but I'm kind of like meh. It's just that I'm really, this baby, no, I'm done with this crap. I really am. But let me know what you think. Do you think Bio and Sabrina might, start seeing each other again? Do you think her and Calvin might hit it off again? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But as always, like and subscribe. Follow me on social media, and I will catch you in the next one.